The chapters in your life are written by what you hear and experience. Chapter.com gives you access to amazing audiobooks anytime you want, on any connected device, always for free. What's your next chapter? Find it at Chapter.com and make sure to like us on Facebook.
Part 1. Understanding Your Reader. The 180-degree turnaround. I recently came across an interesting precept from the Meisner technique for acting. Put all your attention on the other actor. By responding to the other actor rather than focusing on yourself, your emotion, gestures, body language, and tone of voice become more convincing for the audience. This caught my eye because it corresponds to a shift that results in more convincing marketing writing too. Instead of writing I, or we, you write you. What happens then goes far deeper than a change in pronouns. Using the word you forces you to consider and speak to the perspective of the buyer. Instead of what I or we want the buyer to know, you naturally think and write to the reader's emotions, wants, interests, needs, and doubts. Since most people feel more comfortable talking to you rather than about I or we, the tone also becomes more genuine. When the reader encounters the you copy, rapport occurs. To get a message across, forget about yourself and put your attention on the reader. What research shows? When Swedish trade union Unionen tested what we do copy against what you get copy, the latter produced a 16% increase in member signups. Freshen formulaic writing. Whatever marketing message you put in front of them, your readers start off in a haze of indifference. Give them predictable combinations of words and ideas they've already encountered countless times, and they remain in that haze. To wake up readers so they absorb and respond, first, clearly imagine the individual reader you want to move to action. How would she express her challenges, goals, wants, and needs? Visualize that reader and write to her. This takes conscious effort, because when you're eager to sell something, it's natural to start from your way of thinking, not the buyer's. Before. We spent 127 hours verifying or disproving the 12 most common beliefs about malpractice coverage. After. Are you paying too much for too little malpractice coverage? Find out the must-haves and the don't-needs, and why. Second, be fiercely critical of your first draft and replace every familiar expression with words that do not come automatically into your mind but capture your meaning. Before. Paying too much for too little? After. Are all those painfully large malpractice coverage checks you write still leaving you exposed? Action steps. Select a web page or promotional email, print it out, and highlight any expression you've heard or read 100 times before. If you can't be objective, ask a friend to do that for you. Then imagine yourself face to face with your audience. For each highlighted passage, how would you make your point, or a better point, to them in words that they're more likely to care about and listen to? Read your copy out loud sentence by sentence to a friend or colleague with an audio recorder going. After every sentence, your partner asks, "Why should I care about that?" Replay the recording and use the best ideas that burst out of you during the dialogue. We're all in a fog. Don't expect readers to interpret your marketing message with their sharpest powers of logical concentration turned on. The other day I saw the following on a billboard while driving past at 60 miles per hour. Highest government crash ratings ever. Since these words accompanied a sport utility vehicle, reason says the advertiser wants us to consider this vehicle safe. However, we can get to that conclusion only after pondering why the company would want us associating high and crash with its product. At first thought, which is all they'd get from most drivers, this combination of words seems to mean highly unsafe. I've had this discussion with clients too. I'll say, "You come across as saying," and they counter with, "But it says right here." Unfortunately, that's not a valid response. You must change the wording so someone skimming receives the message you want. Be especially careful about combining negatives, not just not and un words, but also words like regret or accept that require a mental somersault to understand. Too many of these in one sentence, and readers crash.
Listening to great authors can influence how you experience the world around you. Chapter puts amazing audiobooks from the greatest authors at your fingertips, anytime and always for free. What's your next chapter? Find it on Chapter. And please give us your feedback and opinions as we grow our services.